Right, basically I'm doing this video because I told someone on YouTube that I would do it, and so here it is. Here's just quickly going to run through my WWE DVD collection. So there's just over 30 here, and there's a couple in the post that I'm waiting for, but I'll just show you the ones I've got. First of all, a couple of the classics, being SummerSlam 2000 and 2001. One of them, I can't remember which one it was. 2001 was Invasion, WWE versus WCW. Quite enjoyable actually, I was surprised. Based on the more recent Invasions, ECW and whatnot, I actually thought that was quite good. And unbelievably for a wrestling fan, I only picked this one up this week and watched it for the first time. WrestleMania 18, which was The Rock v Hulk Hogan, and I watched through that yesterday actually. Although I didn't think that the show itself was as much of a spectacle as WrestleMania is now, I thought it was a thoroughly enjoyable pay-per-view. Thoroughly enjoyable. And obviously The Rock versus Hogan, the match, was a classic. Hopefully we'll have a similar sort of event between The Rock and Cena next April. 2006, there's 5 of them. One of my favourite pay-per-views ever, New Year's Revolution 2006. I was a massive Cena fan back then, but the shock of Edge cashing in Money in the Bank after the Elimination Chamber match was unbelievable, and that makes that basically one of my favourite pay-per-views ever. No Way Out 2006. I haven't actually watched this yet. I picked this up for £2 I think somewhere. I vaguely remember when it actually happened, but I haven't got round to watching it yet, so I must do that. Another really good pay-per-view, ECW One Night Stand 2006, headlined by John Cena versus Rob Van Dam. Very similar to the situation that's just taken place with CM Punk, where Rob Van Dam basically challenges John Cena for the WWE Championship and wants to take it with him to ECW. So that was quite a good event. I have watched this, but not since I actually bought it. Vengeance 2006, obviously the return of DX in that. I've seen it. I have. Obviously it's not that memorable for me. So, but I have seen it, definitely. And finally, SummerSlam 2006. Actually, I did really enjoy this one. Hulk Hogan, Randy Orton. Very good fight. DX versus the McMahons. Very good. And obviously, Edge versus Cena. A very good event. On to 2007. There's only 3 of them. New Year's Revolution 2007. I remember this vividly. Rated RKO versus DX. The event where Triple H tore his quadricep muscle. And obviously the main event, which you can't see on the front but it was on the back. John Cena versus Umaga for the WWE title. Not the best event in the world, but nonetheless it was alright. Probably a truly terrible pay-per-view. One Night Stand 2007. I remember watching this on Sky. Yeah, grim, basically, really poor. Any pay-per-view headlined by Mr. McMahon in a title match isn't going to be great. So, One Night Stand 2007. And finally, WWE Live in the UK 2007. Not bad, actually. Not bad. I always find when they tape an event in this country, it's always comes across as disappointing, but this one wasn't too bad. I remember it with Randy Orton running the gauntlet, and I don't know if you can read it here, the special features. You get the classic 45-minute match from the Raw in London between Shawn Michaels and John Cena, which I remember I sort of skipped through it a little bit when it was on, but I went back and re-watched it over and over again. That was when it was on TV, and to have the DVD, it's a great event. 2008, got a fair few of these. I sort of went through a stage of collecting 2008. I don't really know why. No Way Out, 2008. I have watched it. Oh, of course, it's Elimination Chamber. So, No Way Out. Backlash 2008. I don't remember that one. Yes, I do. Randy Orton, John Cena, Triple H and JBL for the WWE title. I do remember that. Not my favourite. One Night Stand 2008. This was actually one of the very first WWE DVDs I had. Good match between Jeff Hardy and Umaga, Falls Count Anywhere. Shawn Michaels Batista in a stretcher match. The John Cena JBL rivalry Mark II, which was nowhere near as good as Mark 1. TLC match for the title, Undertaker Edge, and Last Man Standing match for the WWE title, Triple H Orton. I remember it being okay. Wasn't brilliant, but it was okay. But yeah, the very first WWE DVD that I owned. Judgment Day 2008. Haven't watched it, actually. I bought it because it was cheap in HMV in Oxford Street, actually. I picked it up for about £2, so I will watch it at some point. Not yet. Another one I haven't watched yet that I picked up cheap, SummerSlam 2008. It's the Steelbook edition, so it's quite cool. CM Punk JBL for the World Heavyweight title, Triple H Great Khali for the WWE title, Undertaker Edge, Hell in a Cell, and John Cena versus Batista. But yeah, Steelbook, which is quite cool, and I picked that up cheap as well. Another one I've watched quite a few times. What can you say about it, to be honest? Morrison and The Miz defend the tag titles against Finlay and Hornswoggle. Hardcore Holly and Cody Rhodes defend the World Tag Team titles against Ted DiBiase and a mystery opponent. That was actually quite a good twist. Triple H, John Cena, and Edge and Batista, 2 main title matches. Finally, another Steelbook, Survivor Series 2008. Cena Jericho, I believe. Yep, John Cena Jericho for the world title. Edge versus Vladimir Kozlov and Triple H for the WWE title. There's a couple of Survivor Series elimination matches on there, but I do like these Steelbook covers. They're quite cool. So there's that one. That is 2008 covered. 2009. I haven't got many actually. A pay-per-view I loved. No Way Out 2009 with the 2 elimination chambers. Edge losing his title in the first one and then smashing the life out of Kofi Kingston to get himself in the second one. Good event. And obviously it's got Shawn Michaels JBL in an all or nothing match where Shawn Michaels is trying to free himself from the contract JBL's got him under. Backlash 2009, bought for solely one reason. I loved the Randy Orton Triple H rivalry leading up to and after WrestleMania, and there was the 6-man tag match of which Orton won the title, and yeah, that's why I bought that one. Finally, I picked this up the other day from Silvervision. That's one of their special offers. I haven't seen it yet. I didn't watch it when it was on because I don't really pay for pay-per-views, only WrestleMania. SummerSlam 2009, Randy Orton versus John Cena, Jeff Hardy v CM Punk in a TLC match. I vaguely remember seeing that, I believe. DX versus The Legacy, but I will get round to watching that one quite soon. On to my WrestleManias. First one I ever paid for and stayed up to watch at the time, WrestleMania 23, hair versus hair match. Donald Trump versus Vince McMahon at the top. Shawn Michaels, Cena, and Batista, Undertaker, 2 really good WrestleMania matches, I thought. A couple of really poor ones on there, but overall I thought it was a good Mania. I've seen better, but I've seen a lot worse. WrestleMania 24, wasn't a fan, if I'm honest. Obviously Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels was a superb match, but to be honest that was about it. Edge Taker was alright, but I've seen better WrestleMania matches. What can you say about WrestleMania 25? Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, that match made it a good WrestleMania. But that's about it, really. Rey Mysterio, JBL could have been a good match. Lasted a minimal amount of time. It's all about Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. I've got WrestleMania 26 is one of the ones that's in the post that I'm waiting for. And the other one I picked up off Silvervision, WrestleMania 27. I actually enjoyed it. It's not the best pay-per-view in the world. The main event between The Miz and John Cena with The Rock's interference was predictable. But I enjoyed it. I mean, solely, really, the one match Triple H Undertaker, which is advertised on the cover. But The Rock sort of made it as well. So, onto my specials, not many, to be honest. 15th anniversary of Raw. I liked it. Plus you get a DVD of the first ever episode of Raw, which is quite cool. Best of Raw 2009. Picked this up from what's the little cheap DVD shop you get where people, Entertainment Exchange or something like that. £4 I think. It's in good condition. I've watched it, not brilliant, but I remember it brings back memories of when I was actually watching Raw during that year. Hardy Boys collection, where you get this one about the Hardys, you get this one, and you get From the Backyard to the Big Time, which, being a backyard wrestling fanatic myself, was quite entertaining. Forever Hardcore, the documentary, which funnily enough you get free with ECW One Night Stand 2006. I've got 2 editions of this. So yeah, that one. This one I picked up for about 50p I think, in HMV, brand new. Hardcore Homecoming, which was pretty much an ECW event. I have seen it, it's not brilliant. Headline Sabu versus Terry Funk versus Shane Douglas with Mick Foley as special ref. Another cheap one, WWE unauthorised. Any wrestling fans or WWE fans, don't bother buying it. It runs for just 58 minutes and basically is a barrage of shit. Nothing happens in it. They discuss various things, they interview a couple of people, but none of it, it says on the front, totally unofficial and uncensored, not authorised or sanctioned by the WWE. Well, it's barely about the WWE, to be honest. It really is crap. That is all of my WWE DVDs. I've got a couple of TNA ones. Lockdown 2006. I sort of went through a stage where I did quite like TNA, but now it's just bullshit, really is. Final Resolution 2008, which has one very good match on it. Kurt Angle versus Christian Cage for the title was very good. Funnily enough, it's got the Women's Championship match between Gail Kim and Awesome Kong, which is quite funny seeing as both of them are now in the WWE. Yep, that one. And not a bad one, actually. The History of TNA Year 1. That was alright. A couple of matches are included on there, but overall that's quite enjoyable. So that's it. That is my WWE collection. So I've covered my DVD collection, and I'll just quickly show you the clothing items I've got. Only 3. Obviously, that's the first generation Nexus shirt, which I picked up from the Raw House show in October. The same place that I picked up the John Cena shirt, the Never Give Up, You Can't See Me one. And finally, I got this for my birthday, an old school John Cena one, which he wore, apparently, at Survivor Series 2006, and it is signed. It's faded a little bit, but it is signed by John Cena, and it came with a certificate of authentication, so that is genuine. Nexus armband, just because when they first came along I loved the Nexus. And Raw House show that we went to watch, I picked up a memoir. May not believe me that it is genuine, but it is. R-Truth came out and threw his bandana, and it is here. I personally thought that it would have been a cool idea if he signed it before he threw it out, but basically it just looks like a bandana, which is what it is, but it is genuinely R-Truth's bandana. Genuinely. Just a couple of belts. World Heavyweight Championship. It's only a cheap replica, but it's by far my favourite title belt. So it's the World Heavyweight Championship. Girlfriend ordered this for me off of eBay, I believe, and it is terrible. It's like a leather belt, and it was about £6 or something, but apparently it's the World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship, but we'll ignore that one. There's another one here. This is a bit battered now, but it's for our backyard federation that we had, and it's the APW UK Championship, homemade, and it's got, there's another strap that's missing a bit, and basically it has, obviously I'm not holding that very well, but it's made out of proper belt foam, so it does, you can hang it and you can hold it up and everything, and it's just a little bit of fun basically. Obviously I showed you these, which is my wrestling DVDs. Just quickly, there's Xbox games along there, including 2 wrestling ones, Legends of WrestleMania, which I actually completed, and it's the only game that I've gained full achievements on, and SmackDown v Raw 2010. I've got 2009 somewhere, but I don't know where it is, but that's around. I just can't see it. Couple of funny things again. These are 2 DVDs from our backyard wrestling federation. It's not going any back, but there's that and that. And funnily enough, somewhere over here is a box with a whole load of camera tapes. Every tape in here, as you can see from this, they're dated. This is all of the footage that we ever shot for our backyard wrestling. All of these. I'm just trying to get hold of a camera from someone. You know, look, there's loads of them down there. Trying to get a camera from someone because my mini DV one decided to burn itself, so I can capture it and fiddle around with the footage. That's the first ever one we shot. 2nd of August 2006. It's quite scary actually. Yesterday is the 5th anniversary of the first ever one. So that's all of them. Just a couple of little bits. A little Rey Mysterio. He came free with something, because it's, I can't see that, it's an ECW Rey Mysterio. He came free in something, but I can't remember what. And also down here is a load of wrestling magazines, and there's loads of these Power Slams. There's some cool ones in here actually. What's that one? That's this year's, I believe. It's Edge, Undertaker, Triple H review from WrestleMania, Miz winning Money in the Bank last year, Power Slam annual list, the annual top 50 wrestlers from, I don't know when that one was, must be last year's. CM Punk, Triple H thing, Jeff Hardy. But yeah, there's quite a few. There's a load more somewhere. A load more. But I don't know where. A couple of WWE magazines. I don't really like this because it just, they sort of love the people that you're meant to love. And these are specials from them. Big Book of Wrestling. These are actually not bad, the specials. These came free with WWE magazine. WrestleMania 25. And so that's it. Quite simply, that's my WWE collection. Fictional, factual, whatever you want to call it. So I'll sign out.